Hello, I am Warshe Downing. I am a junior at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill studying public policy, minor in social economic justice. The University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, we call it UNC Chapel Hill or Carolina, it is a fairly large institution. There are approximately 18,500 undergraduate students, and there are about, let's say, about 10,500 postgraduate students. So roughly about 30,000 students attend UNC Chapel Hill. So we are a fairly large campus, but one thing about UNC that I love is it has a great sense of community. And you can make this large institution a very small institution. That's what I like about UNC. We have such a beautiful landscape. I mean, it is green everywhere. And not only that, but we also environmentally friendly. But our landscape, our beautiful campus is just amazing. Come here during the fall, come here during the spring, summer, whatever, whenever. It is absolutely beautiful all the time. And so the landscapers do a wonderful job, and I give them the credit for just making this place look so beautiful. And we also have many, many great places. I mean, we have the Old Well. The Old Well is surrounded by these beautiful flowers. And the Old Well is our university's icon, academic icon or symbol, and it is absolutely beautiful. I'll tell you more about that. Um, People usually hang out on campus in the pit. The pit is actually a central location. It's right in front of the student stores and right in front of the Lenore Dining Hall. The pit is actually also beside Davis Library, which is the largest academic building in North Carolina. And the pit is right by the student union as well. So it's like right dead in the middle. And the legend is, well, not a legend, but they say if you actually sit in the pit or stand in the pit for like a few moments or like an hour or so, you would see every person that goes here to the university because it is such a central location. And so the pit is a very nice hangout spot. It's right in the middle of campus, and you can see people all the time. In the pit, we usually have what we call pit sitting, where student organizations can sit for their organization. People can stop by and talk to them or get information about things. We also have lots of things that happens in the pit. For example, we have our senior classes, our senior class officers or whatever they may be. They pick up their shirts, the seniors and everything. We have people that come out, like the pit preacher. He's very known. He talks about, of course, Christianity, but he really does a very interesting job of talking to people about certain things. And so the pit is a very nice location. It is right in the center of campus, and is also very iconic as well. My favorite building would probably be the library. I like going to the undergraduate library, and that is right beside the pit as well. But it is a very distinct location as well. I like going there because the library is open 24/7. So it's a place for me to go where I need to study late night. And there's also so many resources. The library, at the very bottom of the undergraduate library, you can actually check out an Apple iPad, I'm sorry. You can check out cameras, DVDs, or whatever. There's also a recording studio in the basement of the undergraduate library we call the UL. And there are so many other resources, including ITS, a very nicely and redesigned computer lab at the very bottom in the basement. So that's my favorite building, I believe, because I study there, and there's lots of action that takes place there, studying and late night studying, so on and so forth. Food on campus is pretty good, I think, because I have it to believe it's good. Of course, each campus is different, but on our campus we have two main dining halls. On North Campus we have Lenore Dining Hall. On South Campus we have what we call Ram's Head Dining Hall. So on North Campus, I mean, basically the food is great. This past summer they actually added 200 additional seats, so Lenore Dining Hall underwent a massive renovation in a sense over the summer, and it's very beautiful. There's a variety of food. There's vegetarian um, dishes that one can get. There's also sandwich area, sushi bar, Of course, there are burgers and there's salads, etc. So there's a wide variety of food on campus. So I happen to think that food is pretty good. Of course, there are some days where you're like, okay, I don't want that. But for the most part, there's a great variety of food on campus, including in Lenore Dining Hall. Again, Lenore is right in front of the pit, right beside Davis Library. So Lenore has, at the very bottom in the basement area, has Chick-fil-A, it has Subway, Mediterranean Deli. There's actually a store. There's also a Jamba Juice, I believe that's the word, and some other nice restaurants as well. So, and that's in the basement of, not the basement, but the main level, the first level of Lenore. And when you go up the steps, the escalators, that's where you have the actual dining facility. And of course, I have a meal plan, so food is pretty good. Anything special about our amenities, such as a library or gymnasium, food courts? I would say that the thing that's special about our amenities here at UNC, again, I said Davis Library. Davis Library is the largest academic building in North Carolina. So I know these things because I'm actually an admissions ambassador as well. So I think Davis Library is a pretty nice place. But not only that, but we also have the Bell Tower. We have the Old Well. The Old Well was actually the university's first water source here on campus. And then I mentioned that the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill is the oldest public institution in the United States. The oldest public institution in the United States. So we pride ourselves in that. And I mean, there are so many amenities. We have the football stadium right here on campus. Not many universities of our status can say that they have everything here on campus. So our football stadium, our football center, basketball arena, all those things are right here on campus in a great walking distance. I think there are many accommodations that college offers its students. I know here, for example, there's undergraduate research opportunities. In fact, 60% of the students here at UNC participate in undergraduate research, and 40% of students participate in study abroad. So there are many accommodations. Not only that, but there's also student organizations and all those other aspects as well. I live on campus. I lived on campus since my first year. In fact, here, you are required to live on campus your first year, which I believe that should be required anyway. And so there are many. The fact is that here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, we have a bus system, the Chapel Hill Transit. And if you live off campus, you can catch the bus from your apartment, depending on where you stay. So this place is very transit friendly, as far as bus friendly. You don't necessarily always need a car, but there are lots of people that walk, people that ride their bicycles, etc. So it's a very accommodating place. So I would recommend people living on campus. That's the pro. The con is probably living off campus, especially with the gas prices being the way they are. For my experiences, I basically have been involved in student organizations. I've been honored to serve as, a leader in several capacities. For example, my first year here at Carolina, um, I was able to start an organization called HOSA, and that was my first year, first semester. And basically, first semester, the organization is called HOSA, Future Health Professionals, and is formerly known as Health Occupation Students of America, and actually serve as a national officer of the organization now as well. So, it's been very rewarding because the accommodations that UNC Chapel Hill allow you to have is that it is a learning experience that you get to have inside the classroom and outside the classroom, and I think that's very important. My strengths and weaknesses is I believe my strengths include me being a leader. I think we're all natural born leaders, but I believe that through all the knowledge I've acquired through these different seminars, etc., that I believe I'm a leader. And my strengths include me identifying what works for me and what doesn't work for me. And my weaknesses, I would have to say my weakness is the fact that I remember my first year, excuse me, first year I was a chemistry major pre-med, and chemistry kind of kicked my behind. So as a result of that, I talked to my academic advisor, And I'm a junior now, but my sophomore year, basically sophomore year, first semester, I made a change from chemistry to public policy because it was out of my best interest for me to change my major. And I loved it. I love public policy. I took one course with public policy professor, Dr. Gitterman, and I loved the class. I fell in love with public policy. So I tell anyone that if you cannot find what you like, take your advisor's recommendation and take a class, and it will blow your mind, because it blew my mind. I was like, oh my goodness, this is my new major. College is a very transformational process. It allows you to grow in many ways. So college is number one, transformational. Number two, college allows you to gain experience. And number three, college is about growth. So number one, transformation. Number two, experience. And number three, growth. UNC Chapel Hill is very diverse. We're a public institution, of course, but we pride ourselves in being a very diverse institution. I mean, diversity of not just, the color of a person, but also as in thinking concepts, cultures, beliefs, and so on and so forth. So the UNC is very embracing of others, of other cultures, even the LGBTIQ community. We're very embracing, loving of those, those who identify in that community. Not only that, but we also have different cultural groups, and we also have, of course, the provost of diversity or multicultural affairs. My overall experience in college has been a blessing. It has been really rewarding because I've been able to embark upon many new opportunities, opportunities that I have not really looked for, but opportunities that I searched for and I found. So I say to myself, the best is still yet to come because there are so many things, even as a junior in college, there are so many things for me to still do. And I know I'm an involved student leader, I'm involved in the community, but my overall college experience has taught me the value of giving back, the value of learning, because knowledge is power. And the knowledge I acquire today, I can use this knowledge, this power for tomorrow. So I believe that we are all leaders for tomorrow, but you have to realize your leadership capacity and lead with amazing results. Well, there are many departments and courses in UNC Chapel Hill that are considered exceptional. I can start off by telling you that our School of Public Health is number two in the nation. Number two. Harvard is actually number three ranked for public health. And this is according to the U.S. News and World Report. Our School of Pharmacy is number two in the nation. Our business school is ranking like number seven or something, probably even higher than that. We also have our School of Nursing, I believe, is ranked number four, maybe, in the nation. We have a school of dentistry. We're building a new school of dentistry as well. I mean, and that's a phenomenal school. The law school, amazing, amazing. School of social work, and so many other professional programs here at UNC Chapel Hill. Even our School of Journalism, Mass Communications, School of Library Sciences. We have many exceptional departments here. Many exceptional departments, I'm telling you. So, courses, I would say exceptional courses would probably be, I don't really know what exceptional courses they may be. I'm thinking, hey, I'm a public policy major. Why can't our public policy be exceptional? So I'm thinking public policy is an exceptional course I deem very essential. But our departments, such as our School of Pharmacy, Business School, Nursing School, Law School, Medical School, wow, Medical School is amazing as well. So we have several great entities on campus. It was very, I would say, it was not that hard for me to adapt from my academics from high school to college, primarily because I've been involved in my high school. We had distance learning through the school at North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics. So even though when I was in high school, even though I come from northeastern North Carolina, and I mean we did not have all the resources available, I think my transition into college was pretty great, but it could have been better. If I know what I know now, I would have done some things back over my first year. I would actually go back in time and do some things over again. A class that one must attend, I would say you must attend a women's studies class. Women's studies is very essential. I think that every person should be empowered and know what's happening in, as far as the history of women's studies, as far as what women all over this world have to deal with. There are still major inequities. So not only is diversity important, but also being informed about what's going on around you, no matter what color you are. That's essential. My worst class again was definitely Chemistry 101. Okay, that's the weed out course. Uh, Chemistry 101. My favorite professor, and this goes back to my sophomore year, Dr. Gitterman. Dr. Gitterman is an amazing professor, and he really inspired me to become a policy major. Amazing. He's very, very delightful person. I think here college is more socially inclined, but coupled with academics. Academics is, of course, the biggest thing while we're here. So that's one thing I see here at Carolina, that we're social, but we're also very academically inclined, and people are involved in different types of research, internships, you name it. Okay, there are so many social groups, cultural groups on campus. There are so many. For example, I'm the co-founder of an organization with a few other colleagues. It's called DICE, D-I-C-E, and it's Diversity and Inclusiveness in Collegiate Environments. But there's also initiatives under student government called the Multicultural and Diversity Outreach. We also have the Office of Multicultural and Diversity Affairs. Now, the Multicultural and Diversity Affairs does not just encompass race or a person's color, but it encompasses so much. There are so many people who have been marginalized and continue to be marginalized, including our, the department, the LGBTIQ community, and other people, disabled persons. So those are all inclusiveness factors that we have to factor in. Um, I'm involved in several groups on campus. I've learned that from my involvement and from my engagement that it's important to give back to the greater causes. All of us are tremendously blessed to be here at this university. And not only that, but it's just, I feel like I could have gone any other place. I chose UNC Chapel Hill because I love this place. And I know there are many ups, but there's also some downs. And academically, I think I wish that I could go back in time to change some things, but things are even better, are getting better and better. So I would tell people that get involved. We call it co-curricular activities, not extracurricular, but co-curricular, because what you do, it allows for you to be more experienced. Leadership. Where are the next world leaders? We need leaders. But also coming with the academic side, you have to be academically sound. Study abroad options organized by university. 40% of the students here do study abroad. 60% do undergraduate research. So there's the office of unit called University Career Services, and they have so many programs: internship, study abroad. We also have a study abroad office as well. These people are amazing. So it just takes one getting involved. I have not actually done any study abroad myself, but I have been to Guatemala, and that was like last year, my sophomore year, with one of my scholarship organizations. I was there for like a week, and I'm telling you, it was amazing. Just there for 1 week doing service, but it was a blessing. How do I spend my free time? I spend my free time by basically trying to read through emails, because email, as a student leader, you're inundated with emails, but also a call to action. Call to actions as far as that's how I spend my free time, seriously. Reading emails and figuring out what's the next step. Free time, I like to go hang out with friends, basically. I like to, have fun. The word is chill. I like to chill. Have fun, read a book. I'm part of Bible study groups. Well, I'm actually a Bible study leader here on my campus, so I try to keep myself very involved in a positive manner and have fun. People over the weekend, people actually do not go home that much. Like some universities, I notice people go home all the time. Here at Carolina, I mean, on the weekend, the campus is full. We have fun. We have Franklin Street. So when we win a major basketball game, oh my goodness, we rush Franklin Street. Our rivals, of course, is Duke University. So when we play Duke University football, basketball. Well, basketball the biggest thing. When we play them, when we win, we go big. Let me go back. But the fraternity sorority scene here, 18% of the undergraduates here at UNC participate in Greek life. So 18% of undergraduates participate. I have a few friends who are actually in fraternities or sororities. I'm not in one myself. The most popular sports here at college, especially basketball, I'm telling you, basketball, we are Tar Heels. Also, football is very popular. Soccer, our soccer team won the national championship this past year. We also have baseball. I mean, women's soccer, they do a fabulous job. They're national champions back to back, women's basketball. So the biggest thing, the biggest sport here, the most popular one here, I would say, would definitely be basketball. Um, I don't think we have a worse sport here. I think all our sports here are great. And yeah, professional teams. And I don't play any sports here. I'm 6 foot 7 inches tall, but I do not play basketball at all here. I applied to several universities in North Carolina and out of state as well. I applied to North Carolina State University. I applied to North Carolina Central University. I applied to East Carolina University. Of course, I applied to UNC Chapel Hill. I applied to Johns Hopkins. I applied to Wake Forest University. And so my major, considering my major factor came to me, deciding between Wake Forest University and the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And I chose UNC Chapel Hill because I've been involved in the Project Uplift program. That is a diversity program that brings underrepresented students from all over North Carolina and even the nation to come to UNC and have a cultural experience for like a day or 2 days. And it's well worth it. Michael Jordan actually participated in Project Uplift. And it's a great program because you get to see, well, UNC Chapel Hill is not just for one group of people, but it's for everyone. And it really opened my mind up to endless possibilities. So I came to UNC because I toured the campus and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with this campus. And even though people say, oh, it's a large university, well, think about large university. You can make a large university a small, comfortable university. And prior to coming to UNC Chapel Hill, I did really well in high school. My GPA in high school weighted was like a 4.35. I took AP Calculus. Actually, I'm gonna start with this. I took AP English. I took AP US History. Now, my high school was like only 500 people. My graduating class 116. So, for example, in AP US History, there were only 6 of us in that class, and this was through the School of Science and Mathematics distance learning using a camera. So, out of 6 people in my class, everybody dropped the class after the first semester because it was just honors. The second semester became AP. I was the only person in my AP US History class every morning, second semester. So that was something I learned, man. I tried to take advantage of all the opportunities my high school had to offer me. Even though it was, we had limited resources, being that we were a very small school, a rural area. I'm from Plymouth, North Carolina. And Plymouth is the county seat of Washington County. Washington County is only 13,000 or more residents, so that's one thing about it. What kind of person makes the right fit for college? I think everyone is fit for this college. But for this college in particular, let me add this. For this college in particular, I think you need to be a very driven community service person. I mean, of course, your GPA is going to matter, your essays, your involvement. I was student body president in my high school for 2 consecutive years, my 11th grade year, my 12th grade year. But not only that, I mean, I was involved in this organization again called HOSA, HOSA. I was president of my honor society, president of math club, so on and so forth. But I realized this, that not my leadership position does not make me who I am. I have to know who I am as an individual. And I saw it as a very important step for me to give back to greater causes. So I was involved. I volunteered. I did lots of things. I'm talking about like shoe boxes. What was it called? School supplies for kids? No. Military care packages. We organized that in my school. I mean, we did so many community-based things, and not just by me being student body president, but because it was the right thing to do. As a leader who, and I say this because we work together, so it's about being intuitive and having that creative genius inside of you. So I think here, applying for this university, you need to be creative. You need to be one step ahead, or even a lots of step ahead of others here. So when you apply to this campus, when you apply to this university, you should think about who you are and who do others say you are. It's not really enough to know who you are or to not know who you are, but what do others say about you? What do others say about your potential? And according to what got me excited about applying to this university is because I remember seeing this university on a television commercial one time before, and not only about that, but the basketball, that was, I guess, an attraction, but also the academics. And the academic side was very crucial to me because I realized that if I'm going to go to a university, I want to go to the best one. And I just happened to choose the one in my state, which is the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. So my advice for those looking to apply to college, I would say definitely do not waver. Do not take your time. Think about what you want to do. Plan ahead. Take some time to plan your goals. They say if you write down your goals, you involuntarily work toward achieving those goals. So what I did, I wrote down the name of the universities I wanted to apply to, and I began to, even my junior year, prior to that as well, I began thinking about programs I could be involved in that could make me a strong applicant for my university. Even in high school, my parents raised me, in the church, but also to be involved in the community. So I was always involved, and I'm so thankful. So I would say, do what you can do, stand when no one else stands. Be the creative, intuitive person you were meant to be. Think outside of the box and create your own box. So that's what I think that's what we're looking for when you apply to college, especially universities such as the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.